live stream. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a controversial topic. You know what I'm saying? This video is definitely going to be controversial, to say the least. There's going to be a lot of things that people want to hear. There's going to be a lot of things that people don't want to hear. A lot of things that people want to accept. A lot of things that people truly don't want to accept in reality of dating in Brazil. So tonight's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna open it up for everybody to comment as well. I got my notes here, so we're gonna let people fall in here, and then we'll get started. All right. So it's gonna be an interesting live stream to say the least. So put your seatbelt on for sure, because like I said, it's gonna be a lot of stuff that people are just really and truly misinformed about when dating in Brazil. So again, we're gonna do the pros and the cons of dating overall, in my experience. And of course, this is not absolute. This is not gonna speak for all women in Brazil. There's millions upon millions of women in Brazil and men. So whatever you're interested in, whether it be men, women, whatever, right? There's a lot of people in Brazil, and for that reason, we can't speak absolute. We can only speak for what we personally experience and things that we see or experience that we've seen with other people. All right. So first, what I need you guys to do is hit the like button. Let everybody know we are on live stream right now. Right. Hit the like button. What up, Devon? Chat gang in the building. Yes, hit the like button on your way in here, please. It takes you no effort to do it. All right, smash that like button for your boy. All right, so in the comments section, let me know where you're watching this video from. Let's get some interaction going before we get into this video. Let me know where you guys are from. Do you have a passport? Have you ever traveled before? Have you been to Brazil before? All right, do me a favor and let me know in the comment section right now. So let's see, let me get my notes pulled up here. You guys want the pros or the cons first? Which one you want first? Because I got a list. And I think honestly I might do a part two to this video or this live stream. But there's a lot of things, all right, for both. But I'm gonna try not to spend a lot of time on each topic, but there is a list of pros and a list of cons from DC. All right, hit the like button on your way in. Passport secured. So Patrick said he want to hear the cons first. Cons first. Cons. 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 Say the best for last. All right, cool. So let's get into the cons. Everybody's saying cons. 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 All right. So number one, and this is not okay. We'll do cons first. This is not in any order as far as greatest to worst. It's just things that I listed that I think that are cons. All right. It's a red flag that cons even exist. Well, I mean, hey, it's from Ohio. I've been in Brazil 3 times. I'll be back in August visiting Sao Paulo. All right, cool. Speaking of which, if you guys are into Afro beats, I know a lot of people don't like Afro beats. A lot of people do like Afro beats, and a lot of people come to Salvador because Salvador is the largest black capital in Brazil. Unfortunately, there is no Afro beats, but in Sao Paulo they have big parties like Afro beats parties, clubs, little bars and shit like that you can go to. So that'd be cool. Do you feel like the way you dress and how you act kind of changed for being in Brazil so long? No, I still dress the same. I still act the same. I still have my identity prior to coming to Brazil. So that doesn't change. All right, so let's do cons. So number one, again, these are in no order. These are just listed. All right, so you will not have dating. These are all pros and cons of dating. You won't have any options for serious relationships without speaking basic or to advanced Portuguese. All right. Does that mean that you're not going to have any success dating? No. But if you want something serious and something worth holding on to, you have to be able to communicate. You cannot come to a different country and expect the women here or anybody to take you serious if you're not willing to put forth the effort to speaking the language. All right. Can you have fun and bust chicks down? Of course, bro. You don't need to speak any Portuguese for that. All right. Of course, if you speak Portuguese, it's gonna help your chances overall across the board. But without speaking the language for a serious companion, you can almost forget about it. All right. Can it happen for you? Of course. There's always percentages that 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% chance, right? There's still chances, but the odds are not as in your favor as if you speak the language. The next thing is Brazilian women are not as submissive as people think they are. I don't know why why people who really truly haven't been to Brazil for any amount of time past a month or 3 months can even speak on this. But the women here are not as submissive as you think, unfortunately. He said only if they speak English. The women here are. I'm gonna get into the pros of this, but they are not as submissive. That idealistic submissive woman that you think, that they are just not that in Brazil. And anybody that I know have been on the same mindset. Like these women are not as submissive as people on YouTube talk about. Guys, let me just say this. There's a lot of people on YouTube selling lies, bro, about Brazil. And let's just keep it 100, bro. There's a lot of people that's selling lies on Brazil and just hyping this shit up just off of excitement. And there's a lot of guys that come to Brazil simply off of excitement. All right? It's just it's not what you think it is. Now, is there's women here that will be that idealistic submissive woman that people think of submissive? Yeah, but isn't you're not coming across those women on a everyday, day to day, or encountering these women a lot. All right. The documentary frustrated sold Brazilian women as being so much more submissive. It's a lot of cap. Yeah, it's not. It's not. They're not like that, bro. Agreed. They are far from submissive, but it's not a bad thing. Compared to the U.S., they gotta be submissive. I mean, compared to the U.S., almost every country will be considered submissive then, right? If you're looking at it that way, I mean, if you're saying compared to who, yeah. So, but Brazilian women are not submissive like that as people think the term submissive. They are definitely more pleasing to be around. A lot more pleasing to be around than American women. Damn. So how submissive do you need a woman to be? Femininity is there most definitely, but submissive not only a little. Yeah, so you're not gonna have women that's just now if you talking about like if you comparing Brazil submissive to United States women submissive, of course Brazilian women are better. If you're comparing the Asian countries submissive to Brazilian submissive, it's no comparison, bro. According to the Asian standard of submissive and Brazilian standard of submissive, there is a night and day difference. It's a night and day difference. They want these guys jumping through fire. Yeah, of course. I'm always gonna tell you guys Brazil is a better choice than the United States. So visual, multimedia. I'm not saying American women are better by any means, bro. You must be new here. I'm not sure, but just the responses that you're giving kind of tells me you're new here, or you just been watching secretly or silently. But a lot of the stuff I post, bro, is telling people that Brazil is great, right? But I'm also gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, it's not all what you think it is. It's not all cracked up to be what people say it is online. Yeah, I got you. So, the next thing I have on the list is the women here get mad. Not all, but they get mad when you are single. Okay, so let me address this a little better. So we know in the states, right? You can be single and you are allowed to date around. You're openly dating, right? So if I know in my mind that okay, I got 7 girls that I'm talking to, and this girl might do something that this girl don't do. This girl does shit that I don't like, or you date, right? You're dating around. You're choosing which one you want to spend most of your time with, if not all of your time with. So I'm openly dating on the market, right? To Americans, this is what we call dating. In Brazil, this is frowned upon if one chick likes you, right? So they get upset if you are single and openly dating, right? They will look at you weird. I've never understood that. But again, it's just one of the things that you got to understand when dating in Brazil. All right. Yo, Fred, if you're dating a chick in Brazil and y'all decide to take a trip to another country, can Brazilian chicks have passports like that? It depends. They might need a visa. They definitely need a passport, but they definitely need a visa. It depends on where they're going. I know Uruguay, they don't need a visa. Brazilians are direct and straightforward. Yo, D, I can't. So you guys can't see me or what? He said he can't see me. Is it like that in big cities like Salvador and Rio too? Yes, bro. Rio is like Vegas, bro. If you cannot have your way in Rio, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Rio is openly open with a lot of things, bro. So um, there's a reason why more people go there than anywhere else in Brazil. They are definitely more jealous for sure. Are the barbers nice out there? You cut your own hair. So the barbers are actually really good here. There's a lot of barbers. Okay, we take the girl to visit. You say, yeah, I'm actually gonna take her to visit, but not to live, bro. All Brazilians want to at least meet California, New York, or Disneyland. All right. So let's get back to it. So they'll get upset if you are dating them or dating her or dating her. If they see you with somebody else, they're gonna let it be known. And they're really jealous in that aspect. They're gonna look at you as a playboy because you're openly dating. Right? And to us, and to me, when it happened to me, I honestly got pissed off because it's like they'll try to, what they say, charge you. They'll try to charge you up in Brazil for openly dating when you have your right to do so. You're single, right? When I'm with my girl now and I'm with my single friends, like say we all go out and she like, oh, well, they always with different girls. Like these niggas are single, bro. They can do what they want. Who am I to tell them they cannot date and do shit? Like, so nobody should be able to say anything. But here in Brazil, they do. All right. I'm gonna keep keep a leash on them. They ain't running off when they come to US. Yeah. So they get upset and they'll get bothered. And it's not that that's really a con, but you will start to get annoyed at the amount of women that get upset about it. All right, the next stop outside of Brazil, or wait, he said, what's the next Brazil city? I don't know. I really want to go to the Amazons, bro, but the prices are ridiculously high. I don't know why they make the prices high. I think it's like almost $1,000 just to go to the Amazon, like to Manaus from Salvador. I don't know if it's the time of the year or what, bro, but that's the next place I really want to go. I don't know why they make it so difficult to go as far as pricing. That's just unreal, and it's not even that far from Salvador to be that high. Do her family be in Brazileta's personal relationships? What do you mean, Trey? Yeah, they want you to be exclusive off rip. Like if you hit it once or twice, y'all go together. Forget about dating somebody else. I feel like in they mind and in their eyes, that's how that should be. All right. But bro, the thing is Brazil, there's so many options to choose from. And that in itself is a pro and a con because you might like this girl, she might have everything you want, everything you desire, but there's so many temptations and there's so many other options. And one of them, when one of them does shit wrong, I mean, it's a good problem to have many options, bro. Like that's a really good option to have. Um, and a lot of people don't have those options to have many, like a plethora of women, right, to choose from which one. But it gets to the point to where you need to explain to them that I'm single. You gotta explain that shit to them off rip, bro. I'm single. I'm gonna openly date, so do not expect anything relationship wise off top. Now, if I get to the point to want to settle down and I choose you, then that's what we do. But if you don't set that shit up front, bro, it's gonna cause problems, and she gonna probably block you, delete you, get rid of you because she think you just here having fun, smashing chicks, and she just another one on the list, right? So, uh, and that leads me to my next point. Relationships do not last long with the younger generation in Brazil. Again, this is not absolute, but a lot of the people that are in certain age groups, let's say 20s, relationships don't last long. And this is another thing that people lie on YouTube and they say that relationships, you can have one girl for the rest of your life in Brazil. No, bro. No. Even the Brazilian guys will tell you that's bullshit. A lot of the Brazilian guys here tell you, why are you even in a relationship? A lot of Brazilian guys to this shit today, three guys that I know, and was just like, why are you in a relationship, bro? Relationships are trash, bro. You live your life here in Brazil. And these are Brazilian men, bro. So I'm just like, bro, I'm happy with my girl. I don't care about this. I've already done all the shit that people dream to do. I've already done it all, bro. If not all, damn near all of it. So for me, I'm cool with my relationship. I'm happy. I don't mind it. Speaking of which, me and DRAWBACKS live together now. So this is the first time I've lived together with anybody in 7 years, almost 8. Yeah. So to that point, to me, it's just like I'm cool with being out of the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that I done did, a lot of shit that I cannot say on YouTube. But again, like I'm happy where I'm at. All right. Let's see. Did the family stay in your boyfriend or girlfriend relationship? No. Never heard any American go to West Brazil. Brazil is more expensive to travel via plane in Brazil. Yeah, it's expensive. It just depends on where you go, bro. Depends on where you go. All right, so relationships don't last. Like I've met so many chicks and so many guys. They're in a relationship today, right? 2, 3 weeks from now, they are done. A month from now, they're done. 2 months from now, they're done. 3 months, 6 months, done. Right? And that rolls me into my next question. Yeah, man, I heard them gangs all over the joint in the West. And that rolls me into my next point. Cheating is very common in Brazil, whether it be guy or girl. Very common, bro. Literally was just at the club the other day. I'm not gonna say who, but I was literally at the club the other day, and somebody that I know is actually married, bro. And this is a guy who was at the club. Me, a couple other Americans, and some Brazilian guys. The Brazilian guys are married, bro, and they're literally in the club, and they live with the chicks, right? Literally in the club, macking on shorties, kissing them in the mouth, kissing one girl on my side, like she's standing on this side of us, kissed her, then goes on the opposite side of the table and kissed her. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is why I feel like I'm not gonna put it all on the men. I'm not gonna put it all on the women, but a lot of women feel that all guys, even Americans that come to Brazil, are in that. They put you in that same boat as being ain't shit, just because a lot of the guys here do that, bro. Right? It's unfortunate, but it ain't. The women ain't safe because the women do the same shit, right? Again, it's a lot of shit I cannot say, right? So Fred, the do-rag is for you. Is this really the one you will marry? Yeah, I can definitely see myself marrying do-rag. Bro, I'm gonna say this. Bro. I've had so many women in Brazil, right? So many. Now there's only maybe one or two out of that group, and I ain't gonna say how many, but it's a lot. That I would leave the credit card with, the keys to my house, my information, my deep dark secrets, all my shit, right? So it's not a lot of people that I would do that with. Let you stay in my crib while I'm not there. It's been only like two people, right? Out of all the time I've been here. And Durag Bay is one of them. All right. So that says a lot. Have you had? I'm not gonna say a number, Eric. So don't even try to get me to say numbers, bro. I'm not gonna say a number. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. All I'm gonna say is relationships don't last long. Relationships do not last long. Cheating is very common, whether it be guy or girl. All right. There's especially, bro, if you're in Rio, forget about it. If these girls, bro, these girls be at the beach and they be having boyfriends, all right? They be having boyfriends. When they come to Salvador, mind you, Bahia, in my opinion, is better than Rio, in my opinion, and to a lot of people's opinion. A lot of Brazilians will tell you that they would prefer going to Salvador versus Rio. First of all, it's cheaper. The weather is more nice. The water is warmer. It's just an overall culture better. The energy is better in the city, in the state. If you haven't been, you don't know what I'm saying. But if you've been, you know exactly what I'm saying. All right. So just off that alone, when people come to Salvador, they come for fun, bro. Right? I personally have met women who are married and be ready to bust it open. And they'll tell you they married. They will tell you they are married. And I can't tell you how many times, and the only place I've ever lived in Brazil has been, well, Sao Paulo for a little bit, but mainly in Salvador, right? So when you see people in Baja, which is, Salvador is the capital of Bahia. So when you come to Salvador, when you come to Bahia, most likely you come to Salvador. And within Salvador, Baja is like the tourist area, right? What about Brazilian women robbing and setting up gringos dating? No, that's not common, bro. Like I said, it can happen, but it's not a common thing. So Fred, it seems like the culture in the way you're describing it is bad as worse in the United States. It's better, but there's a lot of similarities. And there's a lot of things that people are not saying about Brazil. They're just making Brazil seem like paradise and this colorful place that has no issues, but there's a lot of people just not telling the truth, bro. Right? You guys know on my channel, I tell it the way it is, whether it hurts your feelings or not, whether you like it or not. Right? And a lot of this shit that I'm saying is what I've seen from myself and with other people. Right? And some of the shit is what's been told without me even asking. And then I'm also seeing it. So it's like, if Brazilians tell me this shit and I never even had the conversation with them about it, and then I see this shit happen with my own eyes, it's like, damn. Well, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a rhinoceros. So it's just a lot of shit that people not saying, bro. It's a lot better, but it's definitely different. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a time and place just to keep shit real. All right. So another thing. Like I said, you can have a really fun time in Brazil. But as far as looking for a real girl that's gonna settle down with, you got to go through the numbers, bro. It's not just gonna pop up. Can you get lucky on a first time dating somebody? Of course. There's always those percentages. But on average, no. No. So another thing, I've had to cut quite a few chicks off just on this next topic alone, and this next topic is really disgusting when you think about it. Just think about the shit, right? I've had to cut off some badass chicks early on just for this alone. So let me say this real quick. What up, bro? What city speak best English in Brazil? Sao Paulo or Rio? But I would say it's a toss up between Rio and Sao Paulo. More foreigners go to Rio, but the education, I would say a lot of people go to Sao Paulo for work, and the education is a lot higher there in Sao Paulo. People look at people look at Paulistas as more of the well-to-do, I guess, in Brazil. It's stereotypical all across the board. Paulistas, some people that live in Sao Paulo are considered the people with money. They have a better quality of life. They got better opportunities, right? It's a bigger city, and they kind of have this chip on their shoulder, that arrogance. And a lot of people don't like them because of that reason. People in Rio, they look at cariocas as like, they just sit on the beach. I mean, it's a mixed variety. You got the hippies, you got the weed. You got the weed smokers, you got the beach, you got the tourists, you got the Hollywood, right? Every film is based in Brazil and is in Rio, right? Fast and Furious. They show this whole. Everybody thinks Brazil is Rio, so you got the whole Hollywood lights, all the shit that's going on, right? And then the people look at the people in Bahia, Salvador, as lazy. The more cultural place. Again, that's where all the black people are. So it's a lot of stereotypes, bro. Like those are like the top three places that people visit in um, in Brazil. They think people in Salvador, they don't like to work, they don't like to do shit, they're lazy. All they want to do is party, shit like that, right? So these are not my words. These are what Brazilians say, stereotypical across the board. Other places are not so visited in Brazil. Those are the top three places. Uh, yes, but you still better know some Portuguese for sure. Less flaky women in Sao Paulo too. So dating is frowned upon, but cheating is common. Yes, it's crazy, bro. Exactly, exactly. You can't date openly and be single, and they just think, oh, you're a playboy. But cheating is common as hell. It's weird. It's definitely backwards. It's definitely backwards. There's a lot of contradictions in Brazil, bro. Lots of them. Lots of them. All right, so this next point, sleeping with men. This is for women. Sleeping with men who sleep with other men, right? The women will sleep with men that sleep with other men. Did everybody catch that? If I need to say it again, I'll say it again. Women, not all women, but I had to cut off a lot of women who sleep with men when those men sleep with other men. And I asked them why. And their response is, why not? They're attractive. So my thing is, you will just disregard your health because a guy is attractive to you. And if you've been to Brazil, you have guys that's like this, right? From the eye, they look like they would be a straight guy that's only interested in women. But if you ever been to Atlanta, when you see these guys that look like they would be some thug ass dudes or um, some clean cut guys that's only interested in women, no, bro. There is, and the thing is, Brazil is very liberal and open, right? So you will meet guys who uh, who look like me and you, bro, and they solely into women, or they go both ways. But in my eyes, if you like men, there is no both ways, bro. You like men, all right? But you have you have women here who, oh, he's attractive, oh, na 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 na, and they will literally sleep with this guy, which we know that is the number one carrier of spreading diseases, bro. And then they will call you homophobic for not accepting that she would sleep with a man that sleep with other men. So, uh, these are questions that you need to ask when dating, bro. That should be up front because health is important, bro. Health is important. I don't care how bad a chick is. If I ask you, hey, so what's your, first of all, you can have, there's a lot of DL men, bro. Uh, you can have the conversation about sex in Brazil and it's not going to be frowned upon like in the United States. So then that alone is a pro, right? But that should be in the top three questions. What is your sexuality? Are you solely into women or are you solely into men? Right? Or do you like both? Okay, you like both, right? Because there's a lot of women in Brazil, not all, but there's a good amount that like both. There's a lot of women who like women, and a lot of women who like women and men. And there's a lot of women who just only like men, right? But all three exist. You will see some of the baddest, bro, and I mean some of the baddest chicks walking down the street with another badass chick. In the States, if you see two girls walking together, one gonna look like Queen Latifah and Set It Off, and one gonna look like Diamond off of Players Club. Right? Completely opposite. But in Brazil, you will see two Halle Berrys walking together. You will see two J Lo's. You'll see two Diamonds. Like you will see this shit. You're like, damn, who hurt y'all to where y'all just need to be together? It's a lot of people here. Why choose two of y'all? Right? Y'all really messing up for two good men out here that can have two beautiful women, but y'all together. So you know what I'm saying? Queen Latifah, bro. You don't see that in Brazil. You don't see the butchy type. I mean, they exist, but you don't see them that much. I'm just giving you guys the real. I'm just telling you guys what it is. All right. So that needs to be in the questions. If you're this is only for the people that are really serious and want to find a dating partner in Brazil, bro. If you're just trying to bust some shit down, disregard everything I'm saying and disregard it, all right? But then again, most men aren't smacking the black women there, so they might be more open. Most men aren't smacking. Yeah. A lot of guys are from what I see, a lot of guys aren't even with black chicks. They're with the more lighter skin, like the white looking Brazilians that are considered like the European look, the Morena look, or who are on it, who would be considered white in Brazil. They just tan a lot. Brancas. Yeah. Um, and those women identify, and even if they don't identify, if they identify as black to the eye of Brazil, they white. All right. When people go to Rio, to even access the black women in mass, you have to go up north, about an hour away, and that's over in that area by Casa Black. That's where all the black people are. Are you gonna see black people in Rio? Of course, bro. But if you really want to date black women, I would not say Rio. You can see them there, but for the most part, you're not gonna see them often because they don't live close to those areas. Now, if you want to go to now, you'll see them drop down to the beach. They want to go to the beach, they'll do that. But if you want to see them a lot, you need to go to where they are. Now, if you're in Salvador, you just go outside. It don't matter where you go. All right, so whatever y'all come here for, I really don't give a shit. If y'all come here for white, black, Indian, Asian, I don't care. Just get out. All right, that's it. I'm not the guy that's gonna be telling you who you should be with. I don't care, bro. As long as you're happy, as long as she treats you good, how you should be treated, then that's it. Right? That's it. Some guy, and I said this in another video, some guys try to police other men of what body type a woman should have, what she be doing, all this shit like that. Bro, as long as a chick is making you happy, who gives a fuck? Cause I know dudes that's my size and they like big girls. I know dudes that's my size that like skinny girls. I know fat dudes who like skinny girls. I know guys who don't like IG type models, right? I know guys who like short hair and skinny petite. Or you got guys who like a chick with a big ass. Like it's all different, bro. But as long as the chick is making you happy, she treating you good, and she not running game on you, then hey, you like it, I love it. Let's see. Yeah, I've been. Sierra is in Fortaleza. Fortaleza is in Sierra, right? Sierra is a state. Do women in Salvador prefer black men? Yeah, a lot of them. The problem with that is a lot of black women here are single because a lot of the guys here just smash on them and then they'll cuff up the white chicks. All right, I'm 6'1". Oh yeah, good point by the way, the Don. If you come to Brazil, bro, bring your own condoms from the United States. Put that number one on your list, bro. If you come to Brazil, bring condoms from the U.S. Can you, bro? Yes, bring them from the U.S. Bring them. Can you buy condoms in the stores here? Of course, but they are trash and they break easy. They are trash, bro. They can break easy. So, yeah, bring your condoms from the US. Brazilian condoms are trash, bro. What up, Clutch? Clutch like Kobe's in the building. So as you can see, guys who've been to Brazil is agreeing to the condoms being trash. I'll cuff up all them colors and women. I don't discriminate. Her mind has to be right though. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, the women here, a lot of the, not all, but a lot of the women here, I ain't gonna say a lot. Some of the women here sleep with men who sleep with other men. And if you have anything negative to say about it, she will cut you off as if you did something wrong, and then she'll call you homophobic, right? And speaking of which, making any type of slurs derogatory towards homophobic people in Brazil is more of a crime than it is in the States. Freedom of speech does not exist in Brazil. I know that should be common sense because that's something, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom, all these freedom is United States shit, right? So of course they will not fly in another country. But erase that shit out of your mind when you come to Brazil. Because speaking on shit like that, even if it's in text messages, bro, she can process you. And if you don't know what processing is, ask Austin. He know, right? And it could be on some bullshit. I've had chicks try to process me over we was talking at the time and doing what we was doing, and we made a video together, and we stopped talking, right? And she got mad that the video was still up. It's not coming down, bro. You agreed to it. So they use that processing shit here in Brazil as a scare tactic a lot of the times, just because they want their way. All right. How about the racism in Brazil? Racism exists very, 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 very clearly in Brazil. But as an American, you pretty much are like that token black, right? You're like the black. You remember that movie Django? Remember when the two dudes was fighting in the by the fireplace, right? And then the dude gouged his eyes out and hit him in the head with a hammer. Remember the black chick that was sitting in the back? She was sitting at the bar drinking at the table and shit. I don't know if you guys remember that part in the movie. But just imagine sitting at the table with a lot of people that don't like niggas. But you a nigga with money, right? So you get an extra seat at the table type shit. All right? You're a token black. You still a nigga in their eyes, but you pass because you got a little bread status. You're not from here. So it's like that. All right? It's like that. The darker your skin, the worse. The lighter the skin, the more possibilities, opportunities you have. It exists. Colorism exists. The uppity ninjas, yeah. All right? My next point. Most women in their 20s don't want kids or marriage while in their 20s. And we know this is a problem in the United States. A lot of women want to bullshit in their 20s, and by the time they 29 on the cusp of 30, now they want to settle down and start to get serious. Classism is heavy in Brazil. Yeah. Hello, Fred. Don't worry, Fred. We say all the time when we sue someone, 90% it will not happen. Yeah, so here we go. One of the mods, he's a Brazilian. And he's telling you guys, like I said, a lot of it is just scare tactics just to manipulate you and shit. No, I've never experienced racism in Brazil at all, actually. Brazilians are very sensitive when it comes to certain things. It depends on what it is. I thought Brazil was ahead in race, but once I get there, I realized, yeah, bro, Brazil was the last country to abolish slavery. So a lot of times, bro, almost 95 to 97% of any establishment you go to, you're gonna see black people serving, and the people who are sitting in there enjoying this shit is gonna be the whiter skinned Brazilians, or the Brazilians who are black that got extra money. All right, or shit, me and my girl was at Outback the other day, and a white family walked in, right? And they sit literally the booth right across from us. And they had two white kids, of course, but they had two black women with one with him and one with him. And they had two white parents. The dad was white and the mom was she had that more olive skin. So she didn't look like she was fully white. She looked like she probably had some mixture somewhere. But it was interesting to, like, bro, you're not gonna see that shit anywhere in the US. Two black women caring for your two white kids, bro. Like, no offense, but that shit will make an uproar in the United States. right? But it still exists here. Literally, we was at a restaurant, not, what was that, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and there's a white owner, and she works at the cash register in this diner. All the cooks that she hired are black, bro. All of them. So like, not one white person working in that kitchen, but the owner is white. So it shows you how far, like, if that shit happened in the United States, bro, that shit will be shut down because somebody gonna feel like, oh, this is a racist establishment. Why you only got black people working here? Why no white people working here? Right? So it exists. Today is my birthday. Appreciate it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Appreciate you for dropping that in the chat. Happy birthday. All right, so again, most women in their 20s do not want kids or marriage while they're in their 20s. So we see this in the United States a lot. We see this in the United States a lot. A lot of women want to play in their 20s, have fun, do this and that, and by the time they're 30, they look for something serious. And unfortunately, it's similar in Brazil. It's similar. Your black is not their black in Brazil. Agreed, because you're an American. But first, they're gonna think you Brazilian before you anything. Until you start talking. All right. Um, the last thing on this list that I have for cons is that, and I don't advise this at all, bro. I don't advise this at all, but this is something that I've saw and that I've seen very often, really with men and women. But again, we're talking about dating, and you guys are interested in women, and we're interested in women, and this is what we're talking about. Married women will sleep with you. I'm gonna just sit that right there, and they still don't believe you. Yeah, if you tell them you're American, they think you're lying until you show them your passport. Bro, I've been in a club and I had to show my passport because motherfuckers didn't believe me. But yeah, like I said, married women will sleep with you and will entertain you. Whether they're in an open relationship or not, they will entertain you. You could be walking up and down the beach. There's times I done walked up and down the beach. I'm minding my own business, and you'll see a woman tilting her glasses down or waving, winking, smiling, blowing kisses, doing all that shit. And you like, so you walk over, you know, hello, my name is blah blah blah. Where you from? This and that. Oh, you have an accent. Where you from? Boom boom. So y'all are shooting the shit, right? And she asks you single. Single? Yeah. You single? And then she'll do this. So you're doing a lot of choosing for somebody that's married, right? And there's times where it's happened and I didn't know. But like I said, you know, they didn't say shit until after the fact. But guys, even with other people that I've known, the married women be ready to bust it open, bro. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they know that the dudes be doing the same shit. But I don't advise you doing any of that. Now, if y'all happen to do something and she tells you after the fact, then that's not on you. But if she tell you before the fact and you still pursue that, then whatever comes with that, whatever consequences come with that shit, you just gonna have to sit there and deal with it. But I don't advise anybody dealing with married women at all because niggas will kill you in Brazil behind that shit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, best place to find a wife, Rio or Salvador? That's a trick question, and I don't have much time in Rio as I do in Salvador. But if we just basing culture off of culture, these are two different cultures, by the way. Rio is more like the nightlife, the festa. It's like party, party, party. Bahia has a more cultural vibe to it, history. The energy, it's hard to explain, bro. But the biggest thing is the energy here is unmatched across any other place I've been in Brazil. So you can find a wife in both, to be honest. You can find a wife in both. I'll be fair and say you can find a wife in both because I don't know Rio well enough, to be honest. So I can't really speak on it, and my answer will be biased. But if you do go to Rio, you need to go outside of Copacabana, Ipanema, LeBlanc, Baja Tijuca. You need to get out of those areas, bro. You need to get out of those areas if you really want to find a wife. I'm gonna make sure the husband don't act stupid crazy. I think it's based on how you move. It depends. It really gonna come down to what spots you going to, because you can still go out. And you know how they say you can't find a good woman out at clubs and shit. It depends on what clubs. Because if you're going to like clubs that do samba, you can find a wife there, bro. Because samba, they dress presentable. The dances are not sexualized. And the music is clean. Everybody's dancing is more like an African rhythm, and you have live music and people are doing that. Now if you go to like Pagoji and shit like that, it's like the Uncle Luke style parties. So you're not gonna find a wife in there, bro. You're not gonna find a wife in there. So you got music that's promoting sex and smashing and all this type of shit, bust on your face, all that. They be saying some wild shit in this music, bro. When you really understand the lyrics, they be saying some wild shit in this Brazilian music, bro. Or you got samba, which is more sexy, it's more clean, classy, all right? So you can still go out and find a wife in Brazil. It just depends on what type of functions you go into. All right, there's more cons, but I'm not gonna keep going on that. Now, some of the pros to dating in Brazil. All right, the women here are absolutely beautiful. I mean, this is no surprise. The women here are extremely gorgeous, and I mean by the tons, bro. You can literally walk outside to any beach, any market. You're gonna see, bro. I done seen some of the baddest chicks that work at the meat market, at the cash register, at the market, at the corner store, working the cell phone kiosk. You'll see, I mean, shit, at the bus stop, bro. You'll see some of the baddest chicks waiting on the bus. All right, Fred, what is a baddie? A lot of Americans say that a baddie is a girl who is just really drop dead naturally beautiful, right? Bro, when you fly, exactly, when you fly into any place in Brazil, whether it be Sao Paulo, Rio, Bahia, Belo Horizonte, anywhere, Recife, even the chicks in the airport that work there be bad. And they're pleasant. You go to Chicago, O'Hare, Atlanta, and try to talk to one of them chicks that work in the airport. She finna be on your ass. She got all types of attitude, all types of snapping, all types of baby hairs laid all the way down here and shit. No, bro. And she pissed off that she got to be at work. So the difference is, I remember Floyd when we went to Recife. Soon as we went to baggage claim, Floyd saw a chick, and I don't know if she was looking because we was all walking, talking English and shit. So she was looking. I don't know who she was looking at, but Floyd said, "I'm just gonna assume she's looking at me." So Floyd walks over there and spits game to her, and he get the WhatsApp right. She never ended up hitting him up while we was there in Recife. But I swear to God, bro, she literally, when we got back to Salvador, she flew to Salvador by herself and had a good time with Floyd, bro. From a whole different state. I was like, this shit is crazy. But good, beautiful, polite girls are baddies too, or just bad girls? No, no, no. So when we say baddie, we don't mean they're bad people. All right? They're good people. They're good girls. They're just really gorgeous. All right, that makes sense. All right, so the women here are just extremely beautiful. and that leads to my next point. They're really friendly, really friendly. The Brazilian women are really friendly. All right, sometimes too friendly, and they'll kiss you in the mouth, or they'll be expecting it within. I ain't gonna put a time frame on it, but they expect it. And if you don't do it, they're gonna be like, oh well, shit, I thought you didn't like me. So the Brazilian women are very friendly. They're another thing. They are very fun. Very fun. They want to go out to do karaoke. They just, bro, my type of fun is not going into an establishment. For me, that's not fun. My type of fun is when you can even do some shit in the crib. And I'm like, bro, last night was lit as hell. And you think about what you did, a lot of it was just conversation and having some drinks, playing some cards, shit like that. It's just naturally fun, bro. Whether you go out, whether you stay in, whether you just go listen to live music on the hill, watching the sunset, Brazilian girls are really fun and outgoing. Fred, what up? What up? What up, Leonard? Can In Shape OG get some play? And I'm gonna say OG, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. If any, like, bro, y'all done seen John in my videos. John pulled up on some nice little young tenderonis, bro. And John, I don't even know how old John is. I don't want to disrespect his age, but he definitely over 50. John is an OG. You know what I'm saying? John is an OG, and John applied some pressure a few times effortlessly, and I was just like, oh damn. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I see you, Big John. So yeah, John is. I've seen a few old school guys here just effortlessly just putting it down. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? No flashy, no swag, none of that shit. Just hey, you know what I'm saying? What's your WhatsApp? And like, okay. I'm like, damn, that's it. So they're friendly, fun, outgoing. And I know we listed the cons first, but again, bro, every place has its ugly truths. You know what I'm saying? These are the shit that y'all need to look out for. But the women here are definitely beautiful as hell, friendly as hell, fun, and definitely outgoing. In Rio, it's very easy to pick a chick. Here in the States, it's hard though. Yeah, I mean that's all across Brazil. It's not just Rio, bro. Yeah, go to any shopping mall. Like look, we got Aldo. We got the Brazilian now. He using the term baddie. So look, you go to any shopping mall, you're gonna see a lot of beautiful women, bro. A lot of them. A lot of them. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Shout out to OG John. Yeah. So when you spend any amount of time, it could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year. Once you go back to the United States, uh, what they claim to be tens, and you like compare to who? Cause me, bro, I base a chick off of how she look, fresh out of the shower, bare face, no extensions, no eyelashes, no nails, no makeup, none of that shit. And when you strip these women down in the United States to all the shit that they add on, all these VC points like in NBA 2K, all these boost-ons that they put on, you take all that shit off of them, bro. They are like a regular generic AI bot that you have to build up, bro. In Brazil, you could take the most average chick and put her in a club, any nightlife scene in the States, and dudes is gonna be checking for them. And let them find out she speak a different language and she not even black. Oh, bro, they finna have a field day. She can be a 6 or a 5 in Brazil, and she gonna have a field day in the States, bro. She pull out that natural curly hair. She don't even have to have no name brand on, no diamond choke holder, none of that shit, bro. And she gonna have a field day. All right, that's how naturally the women are beautiful here. So again, the cons that I said, they're beautiful. We already know that. They're friendly as hell, fun as hell, outgoing. They're more pleasing to be around, right? You can go to the mall and just walk around. You don't even have to buy anything. Get her some ice cream, and she gonna be at all that you got her some ice cream, right? She gonna be at all. I took my girl the other day to go to the mall, and she wanted some of the most. Bro, let me show you these shoes. She probably gonna be pissed off. I show y'all these shoes. Let me show y'all these shoes, bro. This this is a name brand store here in Brazil. Don't tell her I showed y'all these shoes. I don't like them at all, but she loves them. All right, look at these shoes, bro. These shoes cost me $20, $30. I don't remember. They remind me. If you look close, they got this like. Remember them shoes back in the day, like them jellies with that. I don't know. Something like this. She was just like, oh my gosh, like. I was like, okay, like you want them, that's cool, get the shoes, but they don't require a lot of shit. And this was just a random purchase that I got for her. She was like, I like these shoes. I was like, all right, go get them. Right? She was like, they cost. I was like, just go get the shoes. Like you want them, it doesn't matter what they cost. But she likes them, right? She likes the shoes. And the thing with Brazilian women are they're very low maintenance when it comes to like flashy shit, right? They don't require the name brand shit. You can find some of the most gorgeous women with the most basic shit, right? Because they don't put all their eggs in just trying to look pleasing with name brand, with Louis, with Gucci, Prada, Fendi, and they gotta have this clutch bag, all this shit like that. You can have the most basic bag, basic shoes, regular $5 jeans, right? And be extremely gorgeous physically. And to me, I feel like the women in the States try to be the clothes, right? You make the clothes. The clothes do not make you, right? You could be a shitty person, you Louis down. I don't care, bro. Right? The old school light up joint, yes, bro. But these don't light up. But they got that same glitter look to them. I don't fucking know. She wanted them, I got them. Brazil's not very safe for girls walking around alone, so shopping malls is like a beach. It's a spot where they are safe and shopping, drinking, walking. So yeah, one thing I will say, if you guys did not know that shopping, you know, in the States you got malls and you have the food court, right? In Brazil, people literally fine dine restaurant at the mall. So you'll have like normal food court shit. But then you'll see really nice restaurants inside the malls. Like, I'm talking about where rich people eat. Rich people typically don't eat at the mall in the States. I don't know any malls. Maybe you know some. I don't really know any. Typically, they're like the Ruth Chris and Up, all those Nobu's, or you got the Salt Bay restaurant, all shit like that. That's outside the mall in its own establishment. But here in Brazil, a lot of people go to the mall for everything, bro. Shopping and fine dine eating. Or just to walk around, right? Just to walk around. Yeah. Fancy gourmets. So the women here are more pleasing to be around. You can go to the beach and just sit and talk. If you like to partake in smoking activities, you can sit and just talk and vibe and have a little smoke session. If you want to just go have a beer on the corner, you can have a little beer. Watch the soccer game, you can watch the soccer game. Just walk and talk, bro. Nothing else. Hey, what are you doing? You free? Cool. Let's go walk. Let's go sit. Let's go listen to some music. Let's do this. They're just easy to be around. And when you're with them, they ain't bitching and complaining about every fucking thing, right? If the cup, let's just say, for instance, the cup is dirty or the fork is dirty, which 99% of the time is not going to be in Brazil. But let's just say, for instance, the table is dirty or something like that. She's not gonna throw a bitch fit because shit ain't in her, it ain't to her standard. You know what I'm saying? They're easy. They're like, hey, you know, they're more easygoing and respectful. They're more laid back in Brazil. Everything is easy going. They're not rushed for time. They're not pressed for shit. And it's more like, hey, this is, can you do something about this or this and that. Everything is more gentle, right? Do's and don'ts at the nightclub in Salvador. The problem is we don't speak Portuguese. That's one of the problems. It's not a big problem, but like I said, if you really want to find a girl to relation with, you definitely need to learn at least the basics of Portuguese. Because otherwise, how y'all gonna communicate? Google Translate? That shit boring and tiring, bro. Tired. I see a lot of guys that come here and they're using Google Translate, and I can just see the exhaustion on the girl's face that she just, like, for instance, like when me and my girl is talking, we're conversating, they're like, okay, he's American, he knows the language. Why do you not know the language? And I knew it before getting here. I took the time, bro. So it really comes down to taking the time. I didn't know it as great as I do now, but I still knew a basics of it before getting here. And I can just see the exhaustion on people's face, and they would rather conversate with me and my girl type shit. So you gotta learn the language, bro. Now there's guys that's been in our group and they can speak Spanish, but again, that's not the same. You can get away with it just a little bit because some of the shit is similar. They can pick up on it, and they think in their eyes Spanish is more easier than English because it's a little closer to Portuguese. But you need to learn their language if you want to take somebody serious. If you really want access to the plethora of women that you have just open options to, you need to learn the language. Because you even that much more of a threat, bro. If you can speak the language, you got all your other shit right, then you just that much more of a threat. You have more options. Do's and don'ts in the nightclubs in Salvador. Well, that's universal across any place in South America. But we talking about Brazil. Like for instance, in DR in Colombia, you see guys throwing money. Do not do that in Brazil. Right? People say don't wear jewelry. You can wear jewelry. Nobody's gonna do shit to you about it. And the only people that say don't wear jewelry in Brazil is the people who been here for a little bit of time or have not been here at all. You can wear your jewelry to a club, anywhere really. Now, if you're going to Rio, they will snatch your shit in the street in Rio. Now, I only seen that with a white woman in Salvador, but you can you can go to Rio, you can look on YouTube on Rio, and you can see a lot of videos of people snatching shit in the street, whether it be cell phones, chains, watches, all that type of shit. All right. So don't throw money. If you do wear, you don't need to come down with all these fucking chains, of course. But if you got like a nice little necklace, something slight, a little Cuban link or something like that, cool. All right. But just walking around 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning type shit in areas that's not tourist areas, then of course not, bro. Don't do it. But if you're going to a nightclub or if you're in an area where you know it's a lot of people, it could still happen, of course, but the chances of it happening are less slim. All right? But anything can happen in Brazil. More upscale places you go, more English they speak, but it will be less and less black people, unfortunately. Yeah. And to be honest, a lot of the women don't want to go to those spots, especially with the women that are very in tune with their blackness. They don't want to go to a high end. They want to go, but they don't want to be the only black people looking there. Like, we looking at y'all like, why the fuck are y'all here? They don't like that. It makes them feel uncomfortable because that's not something that they used to. All right. So, of course, as an American, you like, I don't give a shit. If they want to look at us, let them look. We got the money to be here, and the hell with it. That's our American mind. But to them in Brazil, they're like, I don't want to be looked at like that. So again, they are cool with just going to have a pizza or some burgers and some fries and a beer and some low key shit right? Listening to some live music, having a pastel, or having some coxinha, or having some acai, right? Listening to some music, maybe having a beer or two, or a caipirinha, and just vibing out versus going to these high-end bougie ass spots and they just don't like the energy there, right? So overpriced shit for being treated or looked at weird, they're gonna choose the low key vibe shit. And a lot of the times, the low key vibe shit is a lot better, in my opinion, anyway. So, yeah. Burgers and pizza everywhere. Fred, even for Brazilian, Rio is danger. Even though there will be more violent cities, Rio got this famous. Yeah, so uh, that's very true. Um, I've had some Brazilian guys tell me Rio is very famous for the guns, all that type of shit, gangs and guns. Sao Paulo is very known for like importing the drugs and shit like that. And Salvador has a lot of gangs. So and they kind of just facilitating that shit around. So there's, I would say, yeah, when you hear about the dangers, it's a lot of it's in Rio. A lot of it's in Rio, unfortunately. Beautiful city, beautiful place, but unfortunately, it's just really dangerous. I have my girl speak English and she's learning. One thing I don't want to do is not wanting her to learn the language. I know I've talked shit before about. Now I would say this is one of the pros. If a Brazilian woman is dating an American that's speaking English, of course, she will want to learn and practice her English. Now, the selfish part of me was saying I don't want her to be speaking English and all this shit and that, just because I know what it brings. But there's times where I'm just like, you know what, I don't give a shit about that. When she acts like, so we watch movies, or she hear me talking to my friends, like, what does this mean? What does that mean? So she can understand, she can read English, and a lot of them read English. A lot of them can understand it because they took classes and shit growing up. Just kind of like how we took 2 years of English, 2 years of Spanish, and they do the same thing with English. All right. So when it comes to them wanting to learn it, a lot of them can speak it. They just are shy to mess up. But when they're dating you, they will want to learn and be able to understand and speak it more. Next thing is attracting women in Brazil is not difficult to find. I think I already kind of touched on this before. Or not, attracting women in Brazil is not difficult. If you have a nice haircut, or you smell good, you dress nice, you got clean shaven, nails are clean, all that type of shit like that. Your breath smelling good. It is easy to attract women to you in Brazil. Now, the people who I find that struggle to find women they're attracting women is the people who leave the house and do not give a shit what they look like. What up, Gardy? All right. If you are one of those people who just don't care to look presentable leaving the house, you're gonna struggle in Brazil. I would say go to Thailand or Philippines where they don't give a shit what you look like. All right. A lot of people avoid coming to Brazil because Brazil is competitive, bro. What the hell is that? Oh. Brazil is competitive. So if you're afraid to compete with other men, then I would say X Brazil off your list because of everybody. The guys here work out. The guys who are in shape. They I ain't gonna say their fashion is top tier, but they already got the heads up. They this is their culture. They're from here. They speak the language, right? But if you don't want to compete, do not come to Brazil. Point blank, period. And if you don't want to better yourself as a man, don't come to Brazil, bro. All right? Now you can come and you can pay for the prostitutes and shit like that, but that's on you. I've never stopped anybody from doing it, but I've definitely disencouraged the shit. Like, do not come to Brazil dealing with pros. It's no point. There's a lot of beautiful women going around, and you don't have to deal with prostitutes, bro. No point. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of trip. It's a waste of money. All right. And attracting women, and again, bro, the barbershops, you're gonna pay $6 to $10 on a cut. When's the last time you saw any barbershop that's gonna let you get a nice fade cut line up for $6 to $10 in the States? Back in the 80s, the early 90s. Now you got cuts that's like 50, $60, $100 in the States. And don't let them be considered a celebrity barber. They're gonna tax the shit out of you, bro. All right. So if you want to compete, if you wanna better yourself, and I mean, if you know you're coming to Brazil, bring beach clothes. This is not the Netherlands. This is not Iceland. This is not none of that shit, bro. You're coming to Brazil. The first three things you think about Brazil is the weather, the beaches, and the women. So, or it might be food, beaches, and women. So bring a couple clothes for going out and partying. But a lot of the times, you're not gonna need a shirt. A lot of, especially if you're coming in the summertime. A lot of the times, you're gonna be walking out of the damn house. Everywhere you go, you're gonna be shirtless, bro. Everywhere. Only places you cannot be shirtless is in the mall. A lot of times, everywhere you go, all you're gonna need is to have rotations of shorts, different color of shorts for almost every day that you're here, type shit. And then have your clothes to when you want to go out. There's a lot of clothes I have not even wore yet, just because it's just too much, right? LA barbers charging one stack, but they crazy as hell, bro. you paying for the name of whoever that barber is and who hair they cut. They might have cut Drake hair one time. Now they charging niggas $1,000. Yeah, they damn mind. My barber in Dallas, in downtown, Mike, he used to live in my building where I stayed in the high rise. He's considered a celebrity barber now, and his cuts were starting off at like 60. And if you want to do a home visit cut, if he came to your crib, it was 100. And he stayed right across the hall from me, so I never needed to pay the 100. But I literally just saw him post on the other day on his Instagram. He cut Ryan Davis, not Ryan Davis. What's his name? Ryan. What's the boxer's name, bro? Ryan, whatever the fuck his last name is. The boxer, the Mexican dude. He cut his hair. Ryan Garcia. So I know the price is gonna go up. Yeah, Ryan Garcia. All right, so next thing is, outside of attracting women, it's not difficult. You just gotta know how to do the basic shit, right? Kissing and affection is super important and common, and it's common in the beginning, right? So this is a pro, right? You ever take a girl out in the States, and if you sit on the same side of the table with her, she might call the police on you, right? Or she might get up and leave just because she feels uncomfortable. Sitting on the same side of the booth or the same side of the table is very common in Brazil. Holding hands, hugging, kissing on the first date is very common in the beginning, right? So this is a pro, because if she goes, first of all, if she goes out with you, I'm not gonna say getting your number is solidifying shit, because getting a number in Brazil don't mean shit, unfortunately. That's one of the cons that I did add on there. Getting a girl's number in Brazil doesn't mean anything. But if she goes out with you, it's open. It's open. You just can't fuck it up, right? But it's open. So kissing on the first date, hugging, sitting on the same side, holding hands. This is very common day one, bro. early on, day one. Not saying she's gonna come back to your crib, but these things are very common early on in the beginning. And if you don't do them, it's kind of just like, what's wrong? Like, you don't like me? They're gonna look at you like that. All right, they're not gonna understand it. It's not gonna translate. It's gonna translate to you're not interested in them. Right? But I will say a lot of the times, if they like you, they're going home with you, bro. It's not a guarantee, but if they like you, if they go out with you, most times they're gonna go home with you. All right, they're definitely gonna kiss you. They're definitely gonna do all these things with you. I'm not gonna say it's the first night. I'm not gonna put a time frame on it. But if they go out with you, a lot of the times they're gonna go home with you. And y'all just gonna go home and watch Netflix and eat popcorn. That's it. All right. The next thing is we already broke this down to Aldo earlier, but they are bad as hell without fake hair and without makeup. They're just extremely, extremely gorgeous. All right, extremely gorgeous. Now, for you guys, y'all like that? What I did there? Um, They're and one thing I will add on here. I already talked on that, but they're extremely family oriented. Be expected to meet her dad and her mom literally, probably within that first week of y'all dating. There's times where I met people's parents before we was even anything serious, before we even had the conversation, even thought into my mind about anything serious. They was already trying to introduce you to their parents. Bro, literally an American guy is here right now. He literally told me the other day she was trying to introduce. They went to the beach one day. They didn't even smash yet, and she was already trying to introduce him to the family. If you do this in the States, bro, I don't know where the hell you found this girl at, because they don't exist. That's a unicorn. If a chick wants to introduce you to her family, this is probably 6 months down the line or a year plus. And then by the time you do meet them, shit, half the time you break up before you even meet the parents, and y'all been dating for a year type shit. And if y'all still together, you didn't wait it so long to meet the family. When you do meet them, the dad's trying to be this fucking tough guy, and you can't do certain shit there to trigger his traumas. It's just like, don't say this, don't wear this, don't look at him this way, don't bring up sports, don't do all this type of shit, right? But in Brazil, when you're dating a chick, they want you to meet family as soon as possible. Again, I know a lot of these are contradicting as hell, but this just goes to the women that want something serious or may not want something serious. It's contradicting as hell. But if they like you, they want to introduce you to their family. I'm not gonna say no names either, but I know an American and I know a prostitute in Brazil. All right. Well, they call them programas. That's the more fancy name. Anyways, she tried to introduce the American to the family, and the American never even hit her. Right? I know an American who did smash her and didn't even have to pay and was still trying to introduce her or introduce him to the family. So it's a lot of contradictions, but if they like you, bro, they're gonna try to introduce you to the family. It's too fast. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Everybody got they time preferences on shit. Me personally, I don't put a time on dating. I'm 32, bro. We grown. If I want a relationship with you, I want a relationship. I don't need to know 6 months, 7 months, 1 year to figure this shit out. I know what I want, and you say you like me, you know what you want, this is what you want, then what the fuck we waiting for, bro? What are we waiting for? Alright. Yeah. So, oh, you're so nice. Meet my family. Yes. Come to the cookouts. Come to this. Come to that. Yes, bro. They do that. So it's not a bad thing, but I'm gonna say this: if you go, you signed up for the contract, bro. That's all I'm telling you. If you go to any of the events that if she, bro, I'm about to give y'all some shit real quick, right? If you go out with her a few times, 2, 3 times, let's say you didn't hit every single time, or let's say you hit one time, and she like you. There's a lot of times you might not even hit, and she just in awe just off your vibe alone, bro. And she'll try to introduce you to the family. She'll try to invite you to the family events and shit like that. If you sign up for that shit, trust me, it's like getting out of a loan of a car. Once you put your name on that line, it's gonna be difficult. Cause then, like I said, you really like her, but you don't want to hurt her feelings, this shit and that. It's like, yo, we haven't even got to the next step yet, and you're already introducing the family, they introducing to your little sister. Now your little sister then took a liking to me. Now she looking at me like Uncle Fred and shit, right? Cause they call everybody that, bro. If you go, just know she likes you that much more, right? And if her family like you, you're an American, so they're like, oh, Americano, na 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 na, and you start getting little drinks in, and you start dancing with them and shit. Oh, bro, hang that. That is your girl now, bro. That is your girl now. So all the family events, guarantee you, mama, she finna be. Look, you want Fred to come? Look, you want Tiger Blood to come? You want Jerome Ryan to come? You want Kenny? Look, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So if you do that, just know. Just know. There's a lot of things that Brazilian women do that are just like, I've never had this shit. I love it. Right? But you gotta be careful, because if you jump in blind and you just going off of, oh my gosh, they're beautiful. She got a fat ass, she friendly, she outgoing, she fun, she pleasing to be around. Right? She kissing, she affectionate, she cooking, she cleaning. Cause we know how y'all niggas love girls that cook and clean. For me, I don't give a shit. You gonna eat anyway, right? And I don't give a fuck to cook. I'll cook, you cook. It don't matter. We can interswap days. Cooking and cleaning, I'm gonna do that shit with or without you. So for me, as my own man, I don't care if a girl cooks or clean, bro. That's not on my list. That's not top on my list. I don't care. But a lot of you guys, that's like number 1 and number 2 on y'all's list. But yeah, of course, women here cook and clean, but they not a slave. They don't want to be considered submissive or no fucking feminine type. I don't know. They don't like that. It just looks like you're the master and they at the bottom type shit. They don't like that hierarchy shit. Anyways, yeah, bro. You gonna if you think that this woman is this, that, and that. I'm not gonna say it's a trap, but if you get deep in there, that's your girl, bro. That's your girl, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. But the problem is, it's a good problem, because a lot of the times these be really good, wholesome chicks in the street, but at home they be on some wild shit. But these really be dope chicks to kick it with and just be around, bro. Like literally, when DRAWBACKS is with me, I just feel like I'm with my best friend, bro. Like they are cool as hell. We be talking shit to each other. We be fighting, intimate, all this type of shit. Like it's a dope thing, bro. It's like 2 different cultures coming together. So there's a lot of shit that she gotta understand. A lot of shit that I have to understand for her. I mean, we could sit down, like last night, we was up till 4 o'clock in the morning playing Street Fighter 6. We watched 2 movies prior. I don't even remember what. We watched some movie in space, because she like futuristic type shit and all this type of movies. And then we played Street Fighter 6 till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Right? And shit like that, bro, you just don't do that in the States. So when you sign up for that, bro, it's like the problem is there's a lot of them like that. So you gotta come in as the man knowing up front what you're willing and not willing to sign up for. If you just want fun, let that shit know up front, right? Um, but if you start doing little relationship shit, doing this, showing her more time than you expect her to have, she gonna be expecting that shit more often in return, right? But if you want to keep her at Orange Bay, then you need to let that shit be known. And the beautiful thing about Brazil is you can let your shit be known up front. You can communicate up front what you want out of this deal, right? But do not be pillow talking with chicks you just trying to bust down, bro. I done seen this shit a few times when Americans come in here doing that shit. Now they wondering why this chick is hella clingy. You smashing and you pillow talking about future shit or promises you making, and then you wondering why when you at the club and she there, she pissed off or she talking shit or she blowing up your spot. You can't do that, bro. That's G code 101, nigga. Like, what? You sound like the baby calling this chick a side chick. You calling Danny a side chick, whatever the hell her name is, calling her a side chick when you laid up taking selfies, you gave this chick a baby, doing all this shit that niggas don't do with side chicks. You have to be open and honest about what you want with Brazilian women. So that is the biggest pro of all, that you can be yourself, be open. If you just want sex, there's women that's all for that. If you want a relationship, there's women that's all for that. If you want to do whatever it is, there's women for that. But you gotta let it be known up front. All right. I know somebody asked, is polygamy like a popular thing in Brazil? I've met people who had open relationships. I've met women who truly don't want it because of the jealousy factor. And I've met people who have it, but I've met more women who don't want it just because I don't want no other woman in, you know what I'm saying? Or if you present the opportunity to your girl, be like, yo, let's bring another girl to the crib, and you try to sauce her up with all the benefits of having another woman in your crib, right? With you and her, because you want two baddies, right? You know what she's gonna say? Can I have another man there too? 99% of the time, bro, that's gonna be her response. Because I've done my social experiment. I've already asked them. And to this day, of course not to this day, because I mean even DRAWBACKS say that shit too, but even the chicks prior to DRAWBACKS, when I would do my social experiment, because a lot of you guys ask, I would ask them, like, yo, like, would you ever be interested in having an open relationship with another woman? And she was like, sure. But I'm also gonna bring another man in. And if that ain't something you cool with, then that shit ain't happening, bro. So, and me personally, that ain't something I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So guys, tandem, bro. Whew, I got a story about tandem. Yeah, we can't talk about that one. Anyways, if you guys don't know what Tandem is a language speaking app. It's for helping you. My girl just arrived. She's about to come here. We're about to wrap this live up. Tandem is to help you learn language, Jerome. Not to be dating. All right, but you know me. I'm gonna give you guys all the sauce. Tandem is, how do I say this? Tandem is a professional language speaking tutorial Tinder. Did I do a good job on describing that? So if you want to learn a language and you also want to go on dates, right? You know, tour guide, my tutor, right? They got, bro, the potential on there. And if you pay, I think it's like a couple dollars a month or an annual fee. I'm not sure how much the price is, but you can access and you can choose you know, hey, you could put your location, you can geo map yourself in all these locations and see all the awesome tutors that can teach you Portuguese in Rio. They can teach you Portuguese in Salvador, and they can teach you English over here. They can teach you Swahili over here. Like, and you could just see the list. You can see their photos. You can swipe on them. All this shit. Okay, no, not this. All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough on that. All right. So I gave you guys a lot of information. I'm gonna leave this live up too. I'm gonna leave this live up because there's a lot of information in here that you guys really, truly need to know. You guys, honestly, the list of my pros aren't big because a lot of this shit has already been sold to you on online, right? You guys know by now. I think myself, Austin, and other YouTubers, Dennis Jean-Pierre, a lot of people have drilled in the ground the pros of Brazilian women. So it ain't really too much that I said today that you ain't already heard, plus more. All right. The cons is what people are not saying. All right. There's a lot of things that people are just not saying. But Fred is that guy for real. I just try to keep it honest, bro. I just try to keep it honest. It's good to know the pros, but you cannot turn a blind eye against the cons, bro. You have to know the cons to accept the pros, bro. You gotta know the cons. You got to. You have to. Yeah. You got to. Yeah, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, but the cons are definitely important, and the cons could be deterring people to go to other places. Now, all of a sudden, Austin's in Africa. Everybody's like, fuck Brazil, let's go to Africa. That's how I know a lot of you niggas is just, my girl calling me. That's how I know a lot of you dudes is followers, bro. You're buying knowledge and information and what people post, and you're buying that and running with it. My girl pissed off. I just ignored her call. Hang on. she said, why you denying my calls? Like I'm talking to the homies. So yeah, so you got guys that's buying the hype. I'm not gonna say Africa's hype, bro. A lot of the things that Africa does, Brazilians do, and it's the opposite. And you'll see a lot of the stuff in the culture, especially here in Salvador. A lot of it is similar to the African culture, because again, the first port to Africa was here in Salvador. As far as slave trade and all that type of shit goes like that. But you got a lot of guys that just follow, bro. You got a lot of guys who follow. Brazil is still, in my opinion, and I've never even been to Africa, and I see what Africa has to offer. There's a lot of gorgeous women, and we always talk about the women because all of y'all like women, right? A lot of people move because of women, especially if you're a man who likes women. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I would visit Thailand and Philippines and all these other Asian countries, but I would never live there. Because I know with living there, I'm gonna have to accept dating the women, and I'm just not into Asian women. Now, Asian women in Brazil, that Brazilian Asian mix is a whole different thing. But just straight Asian women over there, no. All right. Now, African women are extremely beautiful, gorgeous, but if you want variety, Brazil would be that. And Africa, I'm almost for sure Africa is more expensive to live. So you got to have your money right. Not saying if you live in Brazil, you don't have your money right, but you got to have your money right to live in Africa. According to the sources. All right. If you, another question people ask is, how much can you survive on monthly in Brazil? If you have a source of income coming in, and let's just say you're making $1,000 a month extra, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot to live a normal life in Brazil. $1,000 a month. That's 5,000 reais. Most Brazilians make anywhere between 1 to maybe 3,000 reais a month, depending on their job. So if you're making over that, you're already boosting up in the percentages. I think if I'm not misunderstanding the numbers, the average household income is around anywhere between 350 to 450 a month US. And households here in Brazil have not just one or two people, it's a lot of people together. All right. When my girl lived at her parents' house, it was her mom, her brother, her dad, and her other brother before he moved out and had his family. So they'll live all together and all be working. I've never dated a Colombian, but I've had some friends that are. I have a friend that's there right now. He's frequents there a lot. I've met guys that I know personally that's where they prefer to go. They've been here, but they prefer Colombia. Um, I don't know the difference between dating the two. Honestly, I've only dated Brazilians, so I don't know. You don't have as much variety as you do in Colombia, like you do in Brazil, for sure. I just came back to Manila from leaving Rio. It's rough. I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for hopping on a live stream today. One thing I will drop in here: if you guys play Battlefield 2042, add your boy on PS5. You can have an Xbox, PC, PS4. It don't matter. We can cross-platform and get some gaming in. I'll be trying to game with you guys. So if you have any PS5 games or gaming in general, that'd be dope. I am going to buy property in Brazil at some point for sure. But it's not as easy, bro. Like it's the same similar process. It's a lot of laws and regulations and documents and shit that you got to go through, especially being in a different country. It's not just something you just jump on because you want to have a property somewhere, but there's a lot of laws and shit behind it. So it's not something you just wake up and decide one day. It's something I want to do. I want to have a storefront here. I want to have certain shit here, But it's a process, uh, figuring things out, right? Me and my girl has talked about things as well. So it's a process, bro. It's not something that you just jump on overnight because you could be signing something that you're not sure. So you got to talk to lawyers and all types of legal shit. Been to Rio. Do you recommend Sao Paulo or Salvador for a second time? I would say, are you into nightlife or are you into beach life? Are you into nightlife and beach life together or solely nightlife? Or I would say, are you into nightlife, beach life, culture together or solely nightlife and city vibes? Because if you're into nightlife, beach life, culture, Salvador. If you're into like the city vibe and nightlife, shit to do, zoos, and it just reminds you of being in a big ass city like New York, Sao Paulo, for sure. If you're into beaches and women, bro, I would definitely say Salvador. Sao Paulo doesn't have a beach like that. I think the nearest beach, which is far, is Santos, and that's not really the beach vibe. A lot of those Paulistas come to Salvador, or they'll go to Rio. Rio is closer to them, so I don't go to Rio. Um, or you'll meet them here in Salvador. But they definitely taxing on the beach in Rio. That's why a lot of them come to Salvador because the prices are just cheaper. Airbnbs are cheaper, hotels are cheaper. to do shit, to buy shit, is even way more cheaper than the overpriced Rio. Because even Paulistas that go to Rio get gringo price. They get taxed too, bro, because they're not from there. So anybody who is touring and don't live there get taxed. Yeah, hours away. Yeah. So he said, I like it all. Brazilians are not in New York City. They are there, bro. They got Brazilians in New York. But if you want to find Brazilians in the States, the number one place you're gonna find them is in Boston, Massachusetts. That they have the largest Brazilian population in the United States. If you ask any Brazilian here where they want to go, they're gonna say Boston, bro. They're gonna say Boston. They're gonna go to Florida to see Disney, and they're gonna say California and New York. But Boston is gonna be in that list because that's where they all migrate to, which is, I don't know what Brazilian went there first and just paved the way for all of them to go, but that's where they go. And it's easier to transition them into working and living and learning a way because they already have boots on the ground. So if they need a job to start earning dollars, they can just pay them underneath the table to go pass out flyers or to cook or to do shit like that. It's just easier for them to transition. I don't know why they picked Boston, because Boston is cold as shit. And it's completely different climate in Boston. You would think Miami, you would think places like that, California. They live in Cali too, but you would think for sure Miami. They there as well, but not as much as Boston. Tell us about the thermos down there, because you know Americans want to go there once they land in Brazil. Yeah, they have them here, bro, but it's more common in Rio. They're more common in Rio. I don't talk about them because I don't go to them, so I'm the wrong guy to ask about those type of establishments. Bro, do you realize? He said, "I live in New York, bro. Where in New York can you find Brazilians? Tell me." Bro, New York is huge. New York has Colombians, Venezuelans, Dominicans, Texans, Brazilians, all type of Latinas, Jamaicans, Haitians. Bro, you got all. New York is literally a melting pot of different cultures. A lot. If anything, they have a lot of Latinas, a huge Latina population. I don't know where they be at. Don't get me to lying. I don't know where they be, but I know it's a lot of Latinas there. And again, it just might be hard to come by. A lot of them blend in. A lot of them speak English, so you probably won't know that they're Brazilian. But there's a lot of them. Just look at the statistics and where they be. Google is a powerful tool. Now you got AI. Now you got Chat GBT. You got all this shit that'll help you now. So let's look real quick while we on here. Where do Brazilians? Let's look it up real quick. See if we can answer that. So they called a spot in New York Little Brazil. You know how they call it Little Mexico? Little Mexico, that's where all the Mexicans kick it. They got all the Mexican restaurants. You see them walking around, riding the bikes, doing all that shit, right? So it says West 46th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue in Manhattan has been designated Little Brazil. It's the commercial center for Brazilians living in or visiting New York City. Or the neighborhood, it says, or another New York City neighborhood home to many Brazilians is what's that? Osteria, Queens. So there you go. There's 80 to 100,000 Brazilians in New York City, in the metropolitan areas alone. Despite the numbers, they say it's a lot of people that just don't identify as Brazilian anymore. I don't know why, but they might say I'm mixed. You know the time we live in where you can identify as a cat if you want to, or don't call me he, she, her, ma'am, sir, all this shit. So the time we're living in, people just they don't want to be identifying as certain shit. So but it says that the Osteria Queens is like the largest area, but the biggest Brazilian community is in Newark, New Jersey, in the Ironbound district for Brazilians in New York. All right. But if you want to come across Brazilians in mass, it would be Boston. Bro, come to Connecticut. I live there. It's just too cold for me, bro. I'm not really an East Coast guy. I used to go to New York every Tuesday and Thursday. Not every Tuesday and Thursday. Every Tuesday and Friday. And it's just not my thing. The traffic, I don't know, bro. It's a lot. It's just New York's not my thing. East Coast is not my thing. I'm more of a down south guy. I lived in Cali. I'm more of a West Coast guy. I like the West Coast vibes, the style, the swag, the down south swag vibes. So yeah. Oi, babies.
Hi.
So my girl just got home. Vem aqui, fala oi com eles.
Ok, dá pra ver?
Hã?
Dá pra me ver?
Live. Pra mim?
Não, pra gente.
Look what you just got. Ah, não. É quente? Spice, pimenta. Besteira. Senta aqui, rapidinho. Bro, all these damn snacks and shit.
Tô
She done brought me
cabelo.
she done brought me some caramel,
Bis.
some beef. I don't like this.
Cappuccino. Fandangos.
And,
Esse você gosta.
and these is fire, bro. Como fala isso? Fandangos.
Fandangos.
Yeah. Senta rapidinho.
Eu não gosto dessa luz de... Ah!
Desculpa.
Eu não gosto dessa luz de mim, não. É horrível.
Ciao.
Oi.
Ciao.
Oi.
All right, guys. Yeah, man. So Shorty just got home.
A faca tá aqui. Cadê aquela faca?
Qual?
A faca que a gente
A gente comprou outro dia?
Hã?
Não sei. Com outra. E eles falam, oi. Brazilian, so yeah, bro. Chocolate in Brazil is definitely different. Oops.
Esse não é brasileiro, não. Bisa?
Beast?
Bisa?
So this is Brazilian chocolate.
Yeah.
This is not Brazilian chocolate. This is Hershey. It's American.
Resin.
Hershey.
Resin.
Fala Hershey.
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 Resin.
Hershey.
Dela ela?
Hershey. Hershey. Fala juntos.
Hershey.
Hershey.
Parece dela ela em português. Dela, ela.
Huh?
Dela, ela.
No. She tried to say her and she. No. Her she. Her she. Her shit? No, her she.
Her shit.
Her she.
Hershey.
Alright.
Olha,
I told y'all she trying to learn.
esse é gostoso. Eu gosto.
Fala caramel.
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 Caramelo.
Em inglês.
Caramel. Caramel.
Caramel.
Caramel.
É caramel, caramel, depende
Caramel.
onde você mora.
Cadê a faca daqui, baby?
Não sei.
A gente trouxe.
Bro, she said some shit the other day.
A gente trouxe?
Não.
Naquele dia?
Não. Eu mostro ela sua sapata aqui, baby.
Por quê? Por que você mostrou minhas coisas?
I told y'all she was gonna be like, why you showing them my shoes? Okay.
Ah, pra dizer que você me deu?
Não.
Ah, delícia.
Eu não gosto deles, mas você gosta.
Ele é lindo. Me dá aqui minhas coisas aqui.
Eu quero meu chocolate agora.
Você nem gosta de chocolate.
Eu gosto desse.
Esse
Deixa
aqui.
aqui pra mim. Não.
É de café.
Outra.
Cappuccino, café
Não,
também.
outra. Lá em frente. Esse. Eu
É de
quero esse.
café.
Deixa eu ver. Mentira.
Porra! É de café, ó. Café.
Eu quero.
Porra! Você nem gosta, baby.
Você falando isso porque você não. Sai.
Não, ele é de café, sério, sem brincadeira nenhuma. Pra ver pra você ver.
She ain't cuss, bro. Alright, we finna get out of
Que calor
here.
é esse?
Hã?
Que calor é esse?
Calor?
Quente.
É.
E você ainda com essa luz aí ligada, assim.
I don't see any Brazilians here in the shot, only my peeps Mexican. Alright, man, we're gonna get up out of here, bro. Appreciate you guys for joining the live stream, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Porra! Quase um orgasmo gostoso pra caralho, velho.
Para. Horrível.
Gostoso!
Alright, bro. Peace. We out of here.